Welcome back into Talking Fitchburg. Joining me this afternoon, the clerk of all clerks, Patti Anderson. How are you doing?
Fantastic.
Fantastic. It's hard to get you in here because you're really busy
It's a
doing
little
lots
busy.
of stuff. Well, it's busy because it's primary
It's
season.
primary season. We have
It's
a
a big, big
primary next week.
election.
Yep.
Yes. So, yes, we had to get you in here because now, obviously the primary then becomes the general election, and it's going to be busy times for you. And I was up talking with the lovely ladies up front, who do a great job, by the way.
They do.
And it's just nonstop. It was just ballot after ballot
I
after
think it's
ballot for
been a
absentee.
steady roll for the last few days. So, yeah, it's picking up.
So let's first talk about the August 14th partisan primary. What do we got going on for timing left on getting in for your absentees and the election day?
Okay. Well, today is Wednesday, so you have until 4:30 today to come in and absentee vote. We're open tomorrow, 7:30 to 4:30 as well, and 7:30 to 5 on Friday. Friday is the last day to request an absentee in person. Tomorrow would be the last day to request an absentee by mail. However,
Thursday, she's saying this. This is
yes.
airing Thursday, Patty, so
Oh,
we've
well,
got to keep it.
yes, okay. So Thursday is the last day to request an absentee by mail, but I would not recommend asking for it because that at that point is too late. Mail generally takes 2 to 3 days to arrive in someone's mailbox. So if we mailed it to, on Thursday, you would not get it until maybe Monday, and it would need to be returned by Tuesday. So,
Well, then
so yes,
time's a ticking.
time's a ticking.
So
So
get
I
down
would,
here.
I would highly recommend if you can get to City Hall, come in and do your in-person absentee voting before Friday.
Fantastic. And then moving to the 14th, what are you expecting as far as turnout for the election? I know that's a very loaded question, but
It is quite loaded.
it, in general, I mean, for primaries, I mean, contested or not, is
I well, it's hard to say. My guess is you're going to see about maybe 40 to 50, 60%, somewhere in there. Generally, we can gauge it by absentees, but with it picking up, I think maybe the interest is peaking with all the other ads that are running, and it seemed like we started picking up with absentee voting in person once those ads started airing on the TV channels and the radio stations and things like that. So it's really hard to say what the percentage will be, but usually when I make a guess, I'm not always accurate. So it is a
I thought
guessing
you were a
game.
magician, like so you could do that, but no, it's okay. What would you recommend for folks coming out and on voting day? Get there early. Do you do you have any recommendations on that front?
Well, we generally see a spike right away in the morning. So between 7 and 9 a.m. is usually quite busy because of those people stopping before they go to work. If you're one that doesn't have to be to work right away in the morning, I would recommend coming after 9. Somewhere between 9 and 2 is good. And then we start to see a peak again between 3 and 8 p.m. And usually around 4 to 6 is busier. So if you can come in those maybe off times, that's helpful. Make sure you have your photo ID.
I was just going to go into that. We've
Yes.
been talking about it on the show here for the last month about how to get it, whether you have the ID or the license, what the proper ID information you need for voting. So you still got to have that.
Still have to have photo ID. It does not have to have your current address on it as long as you're registered as a registered voter. If you need to register, you need to bring along proof of residence, which would have your current address. And then your photo ID is fine with a different address as long as it's not expired.
So we're talking maybe your gas bill, cable bill,
Yep.
some way of identifying you and that location.
Correct.
Fantastic. Polling locations. Are we seeing any changes on the polling locations?
No changes currently. So we have the fire station on Marketplace Drive for District 1. The fire station on Lacey Road is District 2.
It's really weird to say it because you're used to saying fire station 2, fire station 1.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So, and then the Wyndham Garden Hotel is our District 3 polling location, and the Community Center for District 4. Those have not changed. I don't foresee any changes coming in the near future, but after redistricting, I think those will probably all change again. And with the city growing the way it's growing, we may need to add additional polling locations. So stay tuned for that in a year or so.
We won't ask you any questions until we get closer to that. That's what I'm seeing and hearing here.
Yep.
All right, so moving into November, then November 6th will be is that called the general election?
That is called the general election.
Right.
You got it right.
For once I was paying attention.
Yes. So that one will be busy. We will start voting as soon as we get ballots in. This year we're planning on doing the 2 weeks prior to the election in our Fitchburg room for absentee voting because of the volume that we see. We do that because we like to keep the traffic away from the main counter at City Hall so that other public business can be conducted without interference. So that's
Well,
usually
and
why
you
we do
have
that.
more space to
We have
work
more
too,
space
so
and-
you can keep people coming in
Yeah,
for that.
and the
as-
volume, we always have so much more, so we ask our election inspectors to come in and help us. So it's kind of like a little mini polling location that we set up for 2 weeks. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, it is. It's good. And again, easy in, easy out. That's always working. Makes it good. So, and again, would you urge people to get registered ahead of time
I
instead
would.
of waiting on
I
the
would.
day?
And the beauty of online registration is currently closed right now because of the current election next week. But as soon as the election's over on August 15th, voters can go on to myvote.wi.gov and you can register online as long as your driver's license is currently updated with your current address on it. Super simple, super easy. It can be done in just a few minutes. If you don't have your license updated, they even have a link on there where you can pop out to the DMV website, update it, pop back in. So it's a really, really easy website for people to use. And I've seen success in prior to the August election with it. We've had, I think, probably 400 or 500 people use that system for us.
Really? Wow. That's awesome.
It's
Well,
fantastic.
that's all you can ask for then, right?
And I like it because it's much easier on our staff. We don't have the paper coming through and having to file and having to track. So, yeah, it's great.
And you can't register the day of the of voting. Can you register at the polls?
Yes, you can.
But that again, you're asking for extra time essentially.
time,
I don't want to
yes.
say you're asking for trouble, but you're
No.
you're basically setting yourself up that you could have that extra time there.
Yes. Yep.
So better to get it done early. And glad to hear people are using that system. So
Yeah,
it's-
the online is great, and I think people are. The word is starting to get out that it's easy to use, and so yeah, people are taking advantage of it.
All right. Well, last but not least, then, as far as anybody have any additional questions, information, where can we go to find all of that, Patty? Because I've been looking at it this whole time.
It's all on our city website. So if you go to government and drop down to city clerk, there's a link there. There's a link right on there on our front page for voting information.
I was going to say, I always tell people if you just look for vote, it's right on the front page.
It is right on the front page, a quick link.
Yeah, that'll get you to everything you need to know. Sample ballots out there available for you now as well. So you can check that out before you get here. And other than that, be nice to your clerks. That's all I'm saying.
Be nice to your clerks. Be nice to the election inspectors on election day because they don't get paid a whole lot. And they're very dedicated and they help us tremendously. So be nice to your people.
Fantastic. You heard it here. That's all. You did a great job. Easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
All right. We'll see you back here. Maybe we'll get you a bit before November.
We'll
if
try
you're
to
not
do
too busy.
Try to do something in October, maybe mid-October, just so we can let the people know what's happening with absentee voting.
Yeah. Well, and of course we pass that information out here on the show when it comes up. So yeah, know when you can start voting. So Patty, I appreciate the time and tell everybody hi for us.
I will do that. Thank you.
All right, so we'll take a quick break. You are watching Talking Fitchburg.